So now we going to talk about the probability theory. Now here definitely I'm assuming that you know what is probability theory, the basic level of it. But in case if you still have any sort of issue in that, feel free to follow some of the online materials which you do have. But anyway, you need not bother about it much because the main part which we're gonna use it from machine learning point of view, I'm gonna cover all of that. Just to have a quick review of probability theory for you, if I have a, a coin which have two sides, one is head and second is tail. If I toss it with 50% chance, I can get a head, and with 50% chance I can get a tail. What is my sample space here? 2 means there are two choices which are possible here. So there are two possibilities which are possible here, which is head and tail. Now when I talk about head, so out of two possibilities, only one possibility is there for head. That's the reason I said that there's a 50% probability. And same way I can say that out of two possibilities what I have only one way where I can get tail. So I can get what? 1 by 2. Let's take another example. Second is dice. You must have played Ludo, right? So there is a dice there. Now in a dice you have 6 sides, right? You do have 6 sides. Now when you throw that dice, what is the probability that you will get a 6, right? When you play Ludo you always want 6, right? Not 3 times continuously, but yes, you want 6. So what you will do to get that? So how many possibilities are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Now these are the 6 possibilities which we have, and out of 6 possibility what I want? Only 6 to be in my output. So I have 1 out of 6. So this is how I define my probability. What is the percentage? What is the number of chance that I will be getting a particular thing? That is how we define the probability. Now you all must have heard about casino. I'm pretty sure few of you might have even gone and played some game there. Now, you might have heard this very famous statement that casino always win. But still you go and waste your money there, right? So that's what happens. Like we have a human mentality that we will go, maybe we win. But these casinos are very smart. They create a game in such a manner that they do have a higher probability of winning the game instead of you winning that game. Okay, so they play with probability to get to a point that they most likely is going to make a win. So even if somebody wins a jackpot there, which you sometimes see happening, even in that case they will be still be able to make out money from other people who are most likely going to lose. So this is what a casino game is all about. Now we will see that how casino kind of makes sure with the help of probability that they always win. So let's take an example. In order to understand this example, what we did, we played a game. What we did, I don't have a casino, I'm not a casino owner, but I still created a game, let's say, and I ask all of my students to play that game. Okay, means if you like to. Now what I did in that, I took a bag and I have a 3 red balls and 2 blue balls with me. And what I said that you have to take as a student, first you will take out one ball, okay, you will again put it back, shuffle it, again you take out the second ball, again you put it back, shuffle it, take another ball, again put it back, shuffle it, again take another ball, put it back, shuffle or not shuffle, doesn't matter. Okay, so now what you did, you took ball 4 times. Every time when you took out the ball, you will note the color of the ball. Now the game is, in order to play that game, you need to pay me 10 rupees. Okay, you need to pay me 10 rupees. But in case if you are going to get continuous 4 red balls, I will pay you 150 rupees. Okay, Sounding interesting, right? I will pay you 150 rupees if in case you get all the 4 red balls. Now you would say, oh, that's good, means I can make 15 times more money if I invest it here. So maybe I have, if in 15 times if I keep on continuously taking out the ball, maybe in one of the chance I win and I can make this game, right? But what do you really think? Whether I have smartly created this game where only I am going to make more profit, or I have basically created this game in such a way that I will lose money. Okay, that is what the answer we will try to figure out in this case. Now, in this case, what would be our strategy to get that? So before I go into the strategy, I would like to make you understand a concept of random variable. Okay, so we will first explore that what is a random variable and what are the things we need to do in order to solve this particular problem. Now, first step, what we have to do in order to solve this problem would be, first we will find all the possible combinations here. So find all possible combination. This is step number 1. Step number 2, find the probability of each combination. So find the probability of each combination. This is going to be my second step which I need to follow. And the third one, use this probability to estimate the profit loss per player. So now use this probability to estimate profit slash loss for each player. This is the 3-step strategy we are going to do. Now what I'm going to do, let me go with the first step, finding all the possible combination. So I have to take out 4 balls at a time. Now what are the way I can get all this, right? So I can take either 4 blue balls and 0 red balls. I can take out 3 blue balls, 1 red ball, 2 red ball, 2 blue ball, 1 blue ball, 3 red ball, 0 blue ball and 4 red ball. This is where we're gonna win 150 rupees, right? Now, what is the way, how many ways you can get 4 blue balls and 0 red ball? Only one way, right? Because blue, 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 blue. But in 3 blue and 1 red, definitely there are 4 possibilities. Maybe the first time I took a red ball, then after that all the 3 balls what I got are blue balls. Similarly, the second time, basically maybe I can take the first blue ball, then I took the red ball and then I took again 2 blue ball. Like this, there can be 4 possibilities to get 3 blue balls and 1 red ball. Similarly, there are 6 possibilities of getting 2 red ball and 2 blue ball. There are 4 possibilities to get 1 blue ball and 3 red ball, and there is only 1 possibility to get 4 red balls here. Now here what we would like to do. So if you see that we have just solved our step number 1 where I said that find all the possible combinations. So this is what how we can solve this particular problem. Now once we got this probability, means we got the possible number of possibilities available here. Now as a second step, what we're gonna do is we need to define a random variable. What is random variable? Now random variable is nothing but it is defined by a x. Okay, we define it with the value x, and it basically converts the outcomes of experiment to something more measurable. That is what we do. Now in this case, maybe we decide that the value of x is going to be equal to number of red balls what we do have. Okay, like for example in this case I have, let's say, the value of x as 3 because my number of red ball is 3. Similarly in this case the value of x is going to be 2 because number of red ball is going to be 2. I will show you how this is going to be very fruitful, but for now just understand that what is random variable. In fact, to make this concept more strong for you, let me take another example. Now, in order to do that, what I'm going to say, let's say you are a data scientist at a bank and you are trying to find out which of the customers are going to default on their loan. Okay, that means that they stop paying on their loan. Now, based on some data, you have to make the following predictions. So, let's say I have a data with me, which is, let's say, the first one is, let's say, customer ID. Okay, customer ID is there with me. I have income of that person with me. I have, let's say, loan which is due for them. How many number of dependents that person have, right? And in the last, let's say I have a default prediction for them, whether this person is going to default or not. Let's say I have some data for it. So let's say this is my first row, and in this first row I have this person is going to most likely default. So there's a second row where I'm going to say that this person is not going to default. In the third row, with some data, I said that this person is not going to default. So let's say this is my data what I have, though I have defined it just like a random table, because the idea is to give you an insight of random variable. So now, instead of processing yes and no response, it will be much easier if you can define a random variable x indicating whether the customer is predicted to default or not, whether this person is going to be in yes category or no category. So maybe what we can define a rule here is, I will define a random variable for it, let's call it as x, and I'm going to make it 1 if the customer default. Okay, so if he gonna default, I'm gonna mark it as 1. X is equal to 0 if he does not default. So maybe I can define like this. Now in this case, my data is going to change a little bit here. Okay, so in this particular table, I will, instead of putting this x no, I will put this random variable, and here I'm going to put 1 and here I'm going to put 0, because the last two rows were basically 0, so I'm going to put like this. So now in this form, the table is entirely kind of quantified. That means you can see that now we don't have any categorical kind of thing. We have everything, even customer ID is integer, this is also kind of integer, loan is also integer, number of dependent is also integer. Now everything got converted to numbers. Now that data is, you can use it in terms of completely quantitative term, and you can perform all your statistics analysis on top of it, right? So it makes your life a little more easy when you can define things in terms of random variable. Okay, we will see a few more things in the further lecture.